There is a version of you that knows exactly what your work is worth, that walks into every room and owns it, that quotes a six-figure fee without flinching, that leads every client conversation from a place of authority rather than hoping to be chosen. And then there is the version of you that is actually running your business right now. If there is a gap between those two versions, this video is going to show you exactly what is in the way and what it takes to actually close it. Hi, I'm Jessica Yarbrough, top B2B business strategist for established coaches and consultants. If you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and subscribe so you know when each video drops. Let's dive in. Number one, why the identity shift matters more than any strategy. Before I walk you through what this shift actually looks like, I want to explain why it matters more than your offer, your marketing system, or a sales script that you're going to build. You can have the right offer, you can have sharp positioning, you can even have qualified pipeline of prospects, and you can still leave every sales conversation having discounted your fees or over-explained your value or given ground when you didn't need to give, because the external strategy will only take you as far as your internal identity allows. And if the version of you that shows up in your business every day does not fully believe in the level that you want to step into, you will unconsciously self-limit at every turn. You will self-sabotage. This identity shift, it's not just a mindset exercise, okay? It's a fundamental change in how you see yourself, how you show up, and what you believe you're allowed to have, charge, and become. And it is one of the most powerful shifts in scaling a coaching or consulting business. Okay, so what the identity gap looks like from the inside. The identity gap shows up differently for different people, but the pattern underneath is almost always the same. Maybe you hesitate before quoting a number that reflects your full value, or you second guess the fees you know you should be charging, or you discount or over deliver just to justify what you charge rather than simply owning it. And here is what makes this particularly challenging for former senior level executives. You likely spent your career being chosen, being promoted, being recognized for your contributions within a system that validated your worth. And when you stepped out of that system, that validation disappeared. And for many accomplished professionals, what replaced it was a quiet but persistent question. Will anyone pay me this much without the title behind me? And that question left unaddressed, it becomes this invisible ceiling that keeps even the most capable coaches and consultants stuck below their true potential. I had a client, Carl, a former CEO who came to me with a $400K business, accomplished and capable, but his pricing, it did not reflect the level of his value. When we raised his prices with some of his existing clients, their response was exactly what I see time and time again. They said, "We know we've been getting a great deal." They already knew. They were just not going to volunteer to pay him more. Carl closed multiple six-figure contracts and ended up doubling his growth to nearly $800K within a year. My client Misha spent decades building genuine expertise but had never sold anything for more than 5 figures. And not because her work was not worth more, but because she had not yet stepped into the identity that allowed her to ask for what it actually was worth. After we repositioned her expertise, she helped make that shift, and she closed a $360K corporate contract. The strategy was part of it. That identity shift was the even bigger part. What that identity shift requires is this is the piece that most people in the industry do not have the capacity to address with you. Not just because they don't bring it up, but because seeing it, naming it, and helping you move through it, it requires a level of strategic intuition and deep experience that most coaches and programs simply do not have. The identity shift requires both the inner work and the outer structure moving forward together. On the outer side, when you have a clearly codified offer that meets an urgent need in the marketplace, your confidence in presenting it changes. When your positioning makes you the obvious expert in your space, the way decision makers respond to you changes. And when your sales approach is built for high trust, high value conversations, the way you show up for those conversations changes. On the inner side, you have to be willing to do the work of letting go of your old beliefs and fears and patterns that have been quietly limiting you. And the combination is what actually works and is what we build inside of Expert Accelerator together. Now, let me walk you through the 4 specific shifts that make the transformation real. So there are 4 specific shifts that move established coaches and consultants into the expert level identity that commands premium fees and attracts premium clients. The first shift is owning your expertise out loud. Most former executives are very humble about what they bring to the table. They have decades of results, but they minimize them. They have a track record that most people would never achieve, but they discount it because it happened inside a corporate context rather than in their own coaching or consulting business. The first shift is learning to articulate your expertise, your track record, and your results with the same clarity and confidence you would expect from the best expert in any room. The second shift is pricing from value, not from fear. Most coaches and consultants set their prices based on what they think the market will accept, rather than what the transformation they create is actually worth. The second shift is pricing from the full value of the outcome you create. What does it cost the client to leave this problem unsolved? What is the return on investment when they do solve it? What is the true business impact of the transformation you deliver? When you anchor your pricing to those questions, rather than what feels safe, the conversation changes entirely. The third shift is leading, not hoping, in sales conversations, in client relationships, and in the way you show up in your business every single day. There is a difference between leading and hoping. Hoping sounds like you're waiting for the client to say yes, adjusting your number based on their reaction, over-explaining to convince rather than just simply stating your value. Leading sounds like walking into every conversation knowing exactly what you offer, exactly who it's for, and exactly what it's worth, and holding that position with complete confidence. The fourth shift is doing the inner work, and this is the one most people skip, and it's the one that makes the other three sustainable. It's addressing the fears that show up right before you go after that big prospect. The self-sabotage that creeps in when you're about to raise your prices or put yourself out there at a higher level. The old belief systems about what you're allowed to have, what kind of clients you deserve, and what level of success you are truly capable of sustaining. This is the real work. It's not just positive thinking. It requires someone who can see the pattern, who can call it out directly and help you move through it quickly. When all four of these shifts happen together, the business you've been trying to build finally starts to reflect the expert that you have always been. And this is the work we do inside of Expert Accelerator. If you're ready, check out our client success stories. And when you want to have that conversation, apply for a call. Until next time.